Welcome back, Paige. Welcome back, Jessica. I can see that you were in class yesterday because you realized that a certain expectation was created yesterday. And what was that again? You remember what the expectation was that was created yesterday? Looks as we still have a sound problem, so you can type it if you want to, but I think the expectation that was created yesterday was that if we do well and if you'll get discount on time occasionally. You got 5 minutes yesterday or about 7 minutes yesterday, and I think we can do exactly the same today. So again, consistency in service delivery, which is very important as well. Okay, all of you have joined, so let's continue with questions 5 and 6. Suggest how Mango could improve its service quality. Now, I went through this case study a number of times. I could not come to any conclusion as to a specific area that they can still improve on. If there was anything that would make the experience of the customer or improve the experience of the customer to be a more positive or even better experience than it currently is, it could probably only be to improve on the tangibles. Maybe improving your leg space in the cabin, which probably shouldn't be a problem at the moment because airlines don't fly on full capacity. But regardless, I mean, this case study was done before we had COVID. So I would say tangible things like that. Maybe a better quality seat for that matter. But then on the other hand, having said that, and those tangibles are usually ones that is a bit expensive or more expensive than any of the others that they can improve on. And therefore, they might not want to necessarily improve it too much because then they've raised the expectation and then they take themselves out of the category of a lower cost airline. Then the expectation is, oh, I see they've got new seats. These are very nice seats. They are not just the normal cloth that we're used to. These are leather seats now. Then the expectation is raised, and then you have to raise your service level as well. And then you are boxing in a different division because now you're going up against the big dogs. And that's a decision that management takes. From the information in the case study, there's nothing that I could suggest that maybe some of the tangibles as one of the dimensions that they can improve on because they've met all the others. Having said that, I might just also add that maybe a consistency in delivering the service. They have set the standard. They have met the expectations because they got the reward in 2009. They got the award in 2011. Consistency and repeating this is what they need to focus on. Not necessarily changing anything that they are doing currently, but just what they're doing currently, improve and do it better. In other words, improve their efficiency. Remember, efficiency and effectivity, what's the difference between the two? You're effective if you do what you have to do, but you are efficient if you do that well. So do what you're doing better than what you're doing at the moment. That would be question 5. Question 6, explain to Mango the consequences of not giving attention to service quality. Provide practical examples. Not giving service quality, we all know that primarily it means that you are losing sales. If you are losing sales, it means that it impacts on your profit. If it impacts on the profit, your staff are not going to get increases. You start not getting increases, but they still have to do the same work. They are going to be less productive. Okay? So to answer, sorry, just I have to admit Kia as well. Kia is joining us for question 6. I want to go to my textbook, and the textbook at some point, I just want to see exactly what page it's on before I share that information with you. We all know what the negative impact is of poor customer service. And I said, yes, the main impact is that you are losing customers because you are not living up to their expectations. I think that particular diagram I was looking for is in chapter 1. But to get straight back to the answer, question 6, your biggest challenges lie in, I think, losing customers. If you're losing customers, it's costing you not just the loss of that customer because he's not spending his money with you, but he's spending it with a different airline. It's also the cost of finding a customer to replace that one. And we know that it costs you 5 times more to get a new customer than to keep a current customer happy. Okay, so that's the two greatest impacts of bad customer service. Secondly, it affects your reputation badly because, especially if they have been very efficient on the platforms, the social media platforms, they've been tweeting, they're on Facebook, they are blogging. Very, very quickly, your name pops up on Hello Peter if you're not delivering that service, and your reputation is tarnished because that's what people do nowadays. If you use those platforms to communicate with your customers, that's also the platforms that your customers will use to communicate if they're experiencing bad service. You don't want that to happen because that is instantaneous. The response will be immediate. If somebody says now they've had a bad experience with Mango, it has become how many views halfway through the day. And people nowadays trust these platforms. They will, if you post information on these platforms, negative information about a particular business or service provider, people don't necessarily check on the validity of that information. They believe it. And especially if it's people that they have in their particular networks, people who they obviously trust, whose opinions they trust, um, they will act on it. So using it to get to your youth market, great idea, very innovative. But if you start offering bad service, the the negative news is going to spread as quickly. Um, Anybody else? Any other contributions? I think those are primarily the most important things. It's going to cost you more. You're going to lose money on your because your sales are down, your profits are lower, your staff become less profitable or less productive, and eventually, people, your business is in danger because you're not making sufficient profits and you have to retrench people. You don't want to get to that point, but that's the reality. And yes, my brother-in-law is a airline pilot. He's flying for Singapore Airlines. He has been in Singapore and living there for the last 17 years. And he's now busy making new plans because about a month ago, it could be 2 months. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, it's 2 months ago. Singapore Airlines on a Friday morning called their staff together and said, right, we are letting 4,000 people go. There you go. It's the impact of COVID, where initially, within the first couple of months of lockdown, where it was hard lockdown globally and there were very few planes in the air, and definitely no planes flying between countries or cross borders, Singapore Airlines were one of the first ones to say, okay, right, if we can't fly people anymore because they are the ones who carry the virus, we are going to convert a lot of our planes into cargo planes. So at least we can still fly cargo around because we only need a pilot and a few people to load the cargo. That only bought them time, and then they had to reduce the number of employees. It's not just always a pandemic that results in these kind of drastic measures. It happens in bad economic times, like we're experiencing now, but more so as a result of COVID than anything else. But then on the other hand, the economy in a country or globally could also take a knock and it has in 2009 globally, 2008, sorry. And it's probably going to do it again sometime in the future. These are the realities. But your business, if they are still providing a good service, are in a better space and safer not to close its doors if something like this, which is out of your control, happens, like a COVID or economic recession. I have, I think, reached, like our friend Mr. Chuck Norris says there, the end of what I can contribute for, regarding chapter 2, and I think your work is done as well. Um, yeah, if there's anything that you want to contribute, you're more than welcome to at this stage. I'll have to sort out the sound issue because I'm not sure what the issue was there. But yeah, it's not your problem. It's something I have to resolve. Anybody, any questions at this stage? Or can I call a weekend on services marketing and I see you guys again on Monday? Andrushka is very happy, and Paige and Jessica also says they are ready for the weekend. It's also fine. Remember, it's still small Saturday. It's not weekend yet. Thank you, Marley. I think everybody appears to be okay with it. Nikita. Well, at this point, then I live up to the expectation that was created yesterday, and that is to give you some discount on time. We have completed all the work. It's not that we are shortchanging you. But we've covered everything that we have to. You guys are happy with it, and we have summarized everything through a case study as well. And therefore, I think chapter 2 you can bank. I'll upload these videos for you during the course of the afternoon. I thank you. Thumbs up for me. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you on Monday. Thanks, ladies. Keep well.